All right, boys and germs, welcome to the Daily Crack today. Down at the far end of the warehouse or the gym, because I'm going to be using these screens today to show you a few bits and pieces. And the theme of today is the same as the last couple of days, and we're still talking about calories. But the difference today is now I'm going to show you how to calculate what your body requires. So as I've said before, it's very important to know what your body requires, because when you're counting and you know what you're aiming for, where you want to go, and whether you want to lose fat or gain muscle, it's important to count your calories, because you'll then need to, once you're counting them, you'll know whether you need to increase or decrease or whatever. But where's your baseline, and how do we determine that? Okay, so we are going to focus on today calculating your basal metabolic rate. This is the number of calories your body requires at rest to survive. And if you remember from the other day, I had this little graph up. Let's swing around to the cameras or TV straight away. I had this little graph up on my video, and this is your basal metabolic rate here. So this is the total number of calories you burn on a daily basis, or how your body burns them. So your BMR burns up to 65% of your calories on a day. So it's the majority of what you burn. But your basal metabolic rate is also what your body requires for internal function, like your liver to work properly, your kidneys to work properly, your heart to pump, for brain function. Like if you undereat here, you're putting yourself at risk of damaging your internal organs and your internal processes. So it's important to understand that when we find this BMR, if you figure out that you're eating under it, you're possibly doing more damage than is worth, okay? So that's an important thing to remember. This is what we're going to establish today, and then we're going to add in a few other bits and pieces to understand then, depending on our goals, where we want to take that. So bear with me. Now I'm going to post in the comments the name of this website here where I'm on. It's calculator.net. And what we're in now is the calorie calculator. So there's a few simple things. This is a basic formula that has been around for years to work out your BMR. And what we're going to do now is pop in my information so I can show you what my BMR is. So I've gone to the metric units. If you want to go imperial, that's fucking up to you. Get with the fucking times though. Right, what age am I? I'm 36. I'm a male. And please God. And then what height of that? 186 centimeters tall. Currently, I weigh 86 kilos. And it's asking you to put in your activity level, but I'm going to come back to that. So I'm going to select my basal metabolic rate, and I'm going to calculate. So I don't know if you can see this up here. It says my basal metabolic rate is 1,848 calories. What does this mean? This means that's how many calories I need. Whoopsie daisies, I'm going to move this a little bit over. This means this is how many calories I need to survive. My BMR. Is my head in it? Yeah, my BMR. So if I undereat, if I go on a calorie restrictive diet and I'm eating, we'll say 1,500 or 1,600 calories, I'm not eating enough calories for my body to function optimally, or to be in homeostasis, if you want to use the fancy word. So by eating less than 1,800 calories, I'm actually putting myself at risk. Okay. Now, my goal is, let's add in something here now. So let's go back to our calculator. So I've basically figured out the basic. Now, on a daily basis, I'm active, okay? I don't lie in the bed stationary all day, because that's what your BMR is, your basal metabolic rate, the baseline, the basic of what you need. Now, if we go in back here to this activity column, I'm pretty active. I'm on my feet most of the day. However, I'm not a tradesman. I would consider a tradesperson way more active. Now, if I'm an office worker, I'm more sedentary. So you've got to figure out where you come on this list. Now, I'm going to say I'm a moderate exerciser. But I'm not a tradesperson. So you can go active with your daily exercise, or intense exercise level 3 to 4 times a week. You can go very active. You exercise 6 to 7 times a week, or extremely, like almost like a, your physical job or all that sort of stuff if you're a tradesperson. But I'm going to pick moderate, okay? And I'm going to re-hit that calculate button. Now, it's going to give me a load of information here. If I want to maintain my 86 kilos, it's going to tell me I need to eat 2,707 calories on a daily basis. Now you see the difference between that and the 1,800. This is adding in my activity, okay? So for me to just hold on to the muscles I've gained, I need to be eating like 2,700 calories, basically, all right? Now, this is where people get excited here, because this is giving me the weight loss, or what you need to do to lose weight. So you have mild weight loss, a 0.25 of a kilo a week. Then you have 0.5 of a kilo a week. Then you have 1 kilo a week. My advice is fucking eliminate those bottom two, because that is not sustainable. Look at here. If I want to lose a kilo a week, that takes me down to 1,700 calories. Now that's under my basal metabolic rate. That to me that's going to fuck me up. Okay? So you don't do that. You don't take the most extreme version. You take the mild. Even when it comes to weight gain. So I'm going to show the weight gain information here. Now, for me, for what mild weight gain to gain 0.25 of a kilo a week, it says to me eat 3,000 calories a day. Okay, so for me that's sustainable. With weight gain, you always want to try and slowly eat more, because you're trying to gain muscle. You're trying to put muscle on, and the more muscle you put on, the more you have to feed it. So eventually, over time, I'll go to 3,200 and work my way up bit by bit. So here you can see this gives you a good baseline, a good area to aim for. And once you have that area to aim for, it's going to adjust. As you lose fat and gain muscle, this shit's going to adjust. This will be something you'd recalculate maybe every 4 to 6 weeks, especially if you're gaining muscle. But if you're in a program where you're trying to lose fat but you're building muscle as well, I would be recalculating, and just to see where things are going and have you a new target to aim for. So I hope that explains how you find your basal metabolic rate. Remember, come back here. Remember our little graph here. This is what you need to survive. Eating under your BMR is a bad thing. Then the way we burn fat at the end of the day is through our non-exercise activity thermogenesis, the thermogenic effect of food, and then a little bit here at the top is from our exercise. So we want to work on making sure we're doing all this correctly. This is the stuff that burns way more calories. If you undereat, you're putting yourself at risk of damaging your body. All right? I want you to have a play around with this. If you have questions, don't be afraid to ask below. I'm going to put the link up for this website so you can go in and look it up. Remember, only pick the mild. Pick the mild for the weight loss or the weight gain. Do not fucking even dream of going the extreme weight loss or the extreme weight gain. It's not appropriate for you right now. Find out your BMR, put in your activity level, and then start tracking your own calories. Giddy up!